Hello, and welcome to another SEL video. Over the course of the next few minutes, we will be looking at the 3 SEL Signature Practices. Signature practices are one tool for fostering a supportive environment and promoting social-emotional learning. They intentionally and explicitly help build a habit of practice through which students and adults enhance their SEL skills. While not an SEL curriculum per se, these practices are one concrete example of a way to help people understand and practice the goals of an overall systemic SEL implementation plan. To begin our time together, we are going to do our very own welcoming ritual. This welcoming is called Place of Peace. I invite you to take a moment and close your eyes. Please think about where you go mentally when you need to recharge. Do you visualize the beach, the ski slopes, or maybe your warm, cozy bed? Reflect on how your body and mind feel as you think about that place. Now, as we move on, try to carry that feeling of calm with you throughout our time together and the rest of your day. There are 3 components of the SEL signature practices. There are welcoming rituals, engaging activities, and optimistic closures. You may be asking yourself, why is it important to do signature practices? Well, these 3 components set the tone for our learning and interactions as we launch the school day, run a staff meeting, deliver a lesson, or facilitate professional development. Our goal is to purposefully and thoughtfully design each element to achieve a particular outcome. Adults and students walk into work or school each day as their whole selves. We bring our strengths, challenges, and outside circumstances which contribute to how we embrace or face the day. We transport our intentional goodwill and our implicit biases. We carry the memory of our last time in the environment, as well as our history of similar situations. Welcoming rituals are brief, interactive experiences that bring the voice of every participant into the room, making a connection to one another and/or the work ahead, with each perspective-laden, culturally rich voice being heard, respected, and learned from. The more we fully share ourselves and are fully received and understood by others, the stronger and safer our learning environments become. Growing knowledge of and appreciation for our groups help us ensure that we will provide opportunities to welcome people in the ways they need and want to be included. Open each class period, meeting, or professional learning experience with a welcoming ritual. Engaging practices are brain-compatible strategies that foster relationships, cultural responsiveness, empowerment, and collaboration. They include strategies to engage all learners with processing content and integrating new information both individually and collectively. They also include brain breaks, which provide vital opportunities for anchoring learning, regaining focus, and enhancing creativity. Engaging practices offer many opportunities that vary in complexity to practice social and emotional learning skills and build in a balance of interactive and reflective experiences to meet the needs of all participants. The goal is being in tune with and responsive to neurological, biological, social, and emotional needs. One example of an engaging activity is a brain break. We all know that movement helps us learn. If students or adults have been sitting too long, they might be struggling to pay attention or engage deeply in the content. Using a slide like this as a reminder to get up and stretch or incorporate a kinetic activity into your session or lesson. By integrating moments of reflection, positive interactions, and appreciations, we craft the climate and culture we're striving for, one in which everyone in the room feels they belong to a safe and caring community of learners where they are valued and able to learn and work together productively. An optimistic closure ends each experience in an intentional way. It does not necessarily have to be a cheery ending, but rather highlights an individual and shared understanding of the importance of the work and can provide a sense of accomplishment and support forward thinking. The closing activity may be reflective of the learning, help identify next steps, or make connections to one's own work. What's important is that each engagement, class period, school day, or meeting ends in a thoughtfully planned and meaningful way, helping everyone leave with an appreciation and energy, looking forward to connecting again. One of the wonderful things about signature practices is that everyone can do them. Students and adults alike are a part of the lifelong learning process for developing and using strong social emotional learning skills. Teachers, leaders, district staff, and out of school time agencies use these practices to great effect to collaboratively build environments in which the fullness of each person's identity is acknowledged and elevated. Here in Palm Beach County, we have adapted Castle's Signature Practices Playbook to support the social emotional growth and learning of both students and adults. This resource can be found on Blender and has a plethora of options for welcoming rituals, engaging activities, and optimistic closures. This playbook offers examples and resources to draw from as you build your own repertoire of SEL practices. It also offers insights about how to make planning and facilitating the signature practices a fluid, natural part of your work. You and your colleagues are each other's richest data sources. So we encourage you to dialogue regularly about how you consistently build these signature practices into your daily work and to learn from one another. As we wrap up our time together, I want to say thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I invite you to participate in our own optimistic closure and think about your very own next steps regarding signature practices in your own professional life. Can you commit to incorporating signature practices into your classroom? Maybe during a staff meeting, or how about during a PLC? Building in these practices throughout the day, every day, as a regular part of a daily lesson planning, meeting agendas, and professional learning facilitation creates a climate and culture of safety, inclusion and belonging, and supports strong, effective learning environments. Again, thank you for your time, and I wish you well.